We are going to cover a major component of a bank balance sheet with the focus on advances and incomes, asset classifications and income recognitions.
Welcome back. We are going to cover asset liability management in this session. In banking business, what we call as a four-letter word, that is risk. Now risk is part of any business, but one can minimize, in other words, mitigate the risk, but one cannot avoid the risk. Risk is more fatal and critical in banking. A banker business is accepting money, that is deposits, and it is a liability of the bank, a liability for principal and interest. It has to be paid in time. Thus, all items appearing on the liability side of a bank balance sheet mainly constitutes payments. Now, let us look at the ALM. Why ALM? So, basically we are looking at the capital, that is own capital, and the deposit. That is, this is the difference, what funds we have, what sources we have. One is our own capital and other is deposits. So, negative gap with higher deposits and lower advances. Now, asset and liability, when we talk about negative gap with higher deposits and lower advances. Dependability on deposit for the purpose of lending. Difference in average age of a deposits, which is called as duration of deposits, and average age of advances, which is called duration of advances. Normally, duration of advances is more than duration of deposits. Pressure on NIM with stiff market competition. NIM is net interest margin. Deposits are payable on demand, whereas subjected to NPA. So that's the need of ALM. What are the components of ALM? So ALM, as we discuss, assets and advance in assets, advances in liabilities, deposits. So how we manage this? So planning, organizing, directing, coordinating and controlling. So management these are the functions of management where we manage assets and liabilities. Let's look at the various components and meaning of ALM, that is asset and liability management. So when we talk about asset and liability management, we have advances and receipts. Under advances, we have interest on, that is income. Then we have deposits and payments, and under the deposits, we have interest extended, that is expenses. And on the other hand, we also have planning, organizing, directing, coordinating deposit and advances to achieve objective, that is maximum profit with minimum risk. So basically the liquidity risk. So payment and receipt is liquidity risk, and income expenses spread is profit, that is gross profit. Next, now we look at the functioning of the asset liability management committee. The board of directors are responsible for bank management, that is maximize profit with minimum risk. The committee responsible for ALM comprises members of board of directors, GM credit, IT head, etc. The committee decides policies, procedures for assets and liabilities management for bank as a whole. The policies and procedures laid down by ALCO are executed by Treasury and within the framework of RBI guidelines on ALM and any statutory provision of Act relevant to the bank business. Significance of ALM. Now, volatility due to deregulation of financial system and interest rates and price level. So, rapid innovation of financial product of banks, increasing awareness among the top management, that is ICICI introduced, if you recollect, 3-in-1 account around year 2000 to facilitate broking in the capital market. Now, regulatory environment requirement, that is international or national. And as far as international is concerned, we have Basel II norms. As far as national is concerned, we have NPA norms. So this is how you have to really manage your asset and liability. Now, what are the objectives of ALM? That is at macro level as well as micro level. At macro level, it is formulation of critical business policies, then efficient allocation of capital, designing of products which appropriate pricing and strategies. At micro level, achieving profitability through price matching and ensuring liquidity by means of maturity matching. Now, what are the parameters of ALM? NII, that is net interest income. The impact of volatility on short-term profit is measured by net interest income, which is calculated as interest income minus interest expenses, that is equal to NII or gross profit. In order to stabilize short-term profits, banks have to minimize fluctuation in NII. NIM, that is net interest margin. Net interest margin is equal to net interest income divided by average total assets, that is performing assets, into 100. NIM can be viewed as spread on earning assets. Students, remember here the term NIM has got very significant meaning here. Many of the banks are listed on stock exchanges, and the performance of the bank is also one of the major, apart from NPA or the profitability, is also NIM. So NIM is very important term that we need to understand. Then economic equity ratio, that is the ratio of shareholders fund to total assets, shareholders fund divided by total assets, and economic equity ratio. Measures the shift in the ratio of own funds to total funds. This ratio in fact assesses the sustenance capacity of a bank. Remember, economic equity ratio. ALM bucket. Now when we talk about ALM bucket, the major guidelines, we have a look at it. Maturity profile liquidity, that is head of accounts. Residual maturity, day 1, day 2 to 7, 8 to 14, 15 to 28, 29 to 3 months, 3 months to 6 years, 6 months to 1 year, 1 year to 3 years, 3 years to 5 years, and over 5 years. Next, understanding ALM with an illustration of a typical bank balance sheet. So we have liability and asset side as discussed earlier. So we are looking at a share capital and reserves and surplus. So 500, these are all numbers in crores, remember. 500 crores share capital, 80 crore reserves and surplus. Then we have deposits, that is 10,000, which contributes to 77.63%. Share capital and reserve surplus contributing 45%. Borrowings 2,000 crores, other liability 300 crores. And the total makes 12,880 crores. On the asset side now, cash and bank with RBI 380 crores, balance with other banks 500 crores, investments 200 crores which constitute 15.52%, advances 6,000 crores which constitutes 46.58%, fixed assets 2,000, other assets 2,000, total 12,880, that makes 100%. And remember here, the investment is component is 15.5% nearly, and advances is 46.5%, which will fetch good income for the bank. Understanding with an illustration. Continuing with our illustration, let's look at advances and liabilities. Firstly, we are looking at the particulars CCOD, TL, BPBD, SLUSL. So when we say CCOD, average age is 1 year, average rate 14%, amount is 1,500, 30% of that is 1050, percentage is 25%. TL 8 years, average rate 12%, amount 2,500, risk 35%, 1625, percentage 42.5. BPBD half a year, average rate 10%, amount 1200, 20%, so that is 960, so percentage wise 20%. SLUSL, average age 3 years, average rate 13%, amount 800, 40%, 480, percentage 12.5. So overall 3-year average, the rate 12.25, average 7.35 crores, 6,000, that is 4115, that makes the 100%. Let's come to the liability side now. Student, remember, understand this concept thoroughly. You can rewind and listen to it again. Thank you. Liability side now, demand deposits, saving and term deposits. Now, as far as demand deposits, we have an amount of 2,000, percentage 20. Savings 3.5%, amount 1,500, percentage 15. Term deposits 3.5 years, average 8%, amount 6,500, percentage 65. So that makes the particular 1.75 age 5.75 is the average age, and average rate is also 5.75. Remember, this is bit complex, so understand the liability side as well. So with this, we come to end of this session. Now we'll have interesting MCQs on asset liability management.